Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, did you see Brightburn? Because obviously I did, that's why I'm reviewing it, but this was an interesting one. It was such an interesting concept. Evil Superman. What if Superman as a kid just snapped and just went nuts and went around bitch slapping everybody? It's a fascinating concept, and unfortunately that's all this movie is. It's just that concept. Do they really do much with it? No, they don't. They don't even really explain what exactly this Superman is. There's one brief throwaway line at the beginning where they're talking about the difference between bees and wasps, and the kid explains that some wasps, they don't have the capacity to make a nest anymore, so they inject the wasp into like another nest or like a bee's nest, and then they take it over, implying that this kid is kind of like an alien version of that they don't have their own planet, so they just kind of invade others and take them over from the inside out. That's really interesting. I was waiting throughout this movie for them to come back to that and to sort of explain it, like especially towards the end when everyone knows, like his parents, that understand what he is, and the kid himself sort of understands what he is and what his purpose on this planet is now. I was expecting like all they needed was one conversation to just sort of flesh it out a bit of like, what is the purpose here? Like we hear he keeps getting that alien language saying, take the world, take the world. I was fascinated in like, what exactly does that mean? Does it mean wipe out all of humanity? Or does it mean he can become like the emperor of mankind and like take the world in that regard? What exactly does that mean? Does it mean he needs to reproduce and breed? It was kind of implied with his interest in that girl that maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I would have liked to see them explore that, but instead they just went back to the horror stuff of evil kid Superman, which is interesting, and the gore stuff was pretty awesome actually, and there were some really good suspenseful horror bits and scary moments. I just wish there was a little bit more to it, because it could have been a bit deeper. It's like the ingredients was there, they just didn't seem to go there. Maybe they were saving it for sequels. There was a sequel bait at the end there. Like it was a good execution, it was a good idea, but just very shallow. And it was one of them movies where in order for the plot to push forward, everybody in the movie needs to be incredibly stupid and do incredibly dumb things. This particularly bothered me with his parents, because the Brightburn kid, whatever his name is, Bobby or whatever his name is, the Brightburn kid, if his parents are supposed to be like a copy of Jonathan and Martha Kent, they weren't really very accurate portrayals of that. Like there's just, like for example, if you've got a kid and you know he's like a Superman, and that kid has a dream that forces him to go out in the barn and start trying to pry open the doors where you know his spaceship is after, maybe you'd have a little bit of a conversation with him, like, why were you out there? You were sleepwalking. Why? Oh, you don't remember why? What's the last thing you remember? Oh, you were dreaming. Okay, tell me what the dream was about. Let's talk about it. Let's try and figure out what it's about. Apparently, these parents don't bother doing anything like that. Look, I understand maybe not all parents are great and want to be involved in every area of their kid's life. Maybe they don't have conversations with them as freely as they would. But since your kid is an alien and you know he's an alien, maybe take a little bit more of an interest into what's happening with him. You know, he's acting out in school. Maybe talk to him a little bit. Try to figure out why he's doing the things he's doing rather than just glossing over them all the time. I mean, if this Brightburn kid had parents who were a little bit more involved and a little bit more diligent in raising their kid, he probably wouldn't have turned out the way he was. Who knows? Maybe that was the point of the movie, is for parents to be a bit more active in their parenting. I don't know, but I think that like with that kid, like even that message he got from the alien spaceship of take the world, take the world, take the world, that's open to a lot of interpretation. I mean, you know, even if the meaning of that is in a malevolent, sinister way of like killing all of humanity and ruling the world, you know, if you're active as parents, you might be able to sort of shape that into a more positive aspect of like, take the world. Well, take the world. What does that mean? Maybe it means you set a good example for everything, and so you take the world in a positive direction. You could have maybe steered this kid more in that a positive way, or like his killer instincts. You could have done like a Dexter thing, you know, sort of told him that he has that aggression and that violence. That's a gift for him to punish wrongdoers. You know, I mean, there's lots of things you could have done, but these parents just didn't seem to be very active. And even towards the end, when the father realizes that his kid's out of control and takes him hunting and then tries to shoot him in the back of the head, you didn't really think that through, dude. I mean, you yourself admit earlier in the movie, this kid, he's never been cut, he's never been bruised, he's never bled before. So why would you think that a bullet in the back of the head is going to make any difference? I mean, why would you expect anything other than it to just bounce off him? I mean, granted, kid's never been shot before, so I guess in that way you don't know it's not going to work, but just take an educated guess, dude. I mean, what do you think? I mean, of course it's not going to work. And again, if he and his wife had actually communicated with each other a bit, she would have told him that he cut himself on the spaceship and he could have used a bit of the spaceship as his bullet. He could have made that the bullet to shoot the kid with, or just spear the kid through the back with it. I mean, it's talk, guys. Communication. Maybe that's the moral of Brightburn. Yeah, it's like, take an interest in people around you. Ask some questions every now and then. Anyway. Overall, it was an enjoyable movie. They did set up for sequels, which I don't think are ever going to be made. But if they are made, it would be interesting to see this world sort of fleshed out a bit, seeing that there's other creatures like this. I mean, are these aliens from the same species that put the Brightburn kid here? Or are they rival alien species? I don't know. Are they homegrown superheroes to try to combat the Brightburn kid? Who knows? But I don't think these movies will ever be made, but if they do, I'll be interested. I'll check them out. So, have you seen Brightburn? What did you think about it? Put the comments down below. I am Bandit. This is Bandit Incorporated. Until next time, I will see you guys in the comments.